Sanje Jodam Sanje Jodam Jaja Badu Dadu Ake Chichi Jepe Sam Gola Benju Sanje Vajo Sanje Jodam Sanje Jodam Jaja Badu Dadu Ake Chichi Jepe Sam Gola Benju Sanje Vajo Jodan Sogi Chodam La Jancho Badu Dagi Jasuchi Age Chishi Jebe Sonati Lola Benjo Sanje Hey, good evening again. We do a little meditation, okay? Meditation refuge, today refuge. As much as you can explain, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, attack refuge into enlightenment, just the two verses. The second two verses talk about the, bodhicitta. Therefore, we need to refuge meditation. Usually, the Kadamba masters, they recite so they usually recite with Om Pemara 100,000 times. Sometimes the Kadamba masters, through way to practice refuge, with the attack refuge, Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, enter enlightened. And the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, attack refuge, like towards the and reciting and try to visualization and try to more connect something until you get some feeling. They do meditation. After you have some realization or feeling, then you can move the next line to bodhicitta. Therefore, I think we all study Buddhism many years. I'm sure you all have so very good education, refuge. Therefore, then today we do a little bit meditation to refuge, okay? As much as you can. If you don't feel, you know how to any little meditation to something words, Buddha or Dharma or Buddha, try to, feeling something mind, some connection with the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So I'm going to take refuge until enlightened. Something to visualization, some object of three jewels, and try to your mind connect that. Okay? Any different feeling? Good. Even a little bit. Sometimes when you just close your eyes, something it doesn't hear, doesn't feel anything. Then just try to recite the words in your mind. Then it can help for us to more connect that. Otherwise, mind go to all different directions. And when you have like some feeling, some more connection, then you can move to next level. 제가 라마좀 대담하더니 여러 냠tet도 뇽tet세 뇽마테 받을 공부했는데.
So just like like it is said in the Lamrim, there is a teachings like experiential teaching. So experiential teaching is like you teach and then let the students experience it and practice until they gain the experience.
제가 누구지네 다음도 산지 죽게들라 이러는구나. 같이 레레치 로라샤 마도나 텐지 산지 죽게들 섬세들 수준 내가 여봐도 못 봤지. 텔레 딱 마시바다 잡장이 사마지바다 잡장이 텐지가 섬서 다 데이터가 탑시는 그 니바로지 간에 전부 주마모지 지금 다 하얀 친구이 차오고 갈리 매드 갈리 반나 담보 초이마 갈리 그냥 고 이디아 레고도 뒤져도 용거사.
So even if you are not able to identify all the object of refuge, like Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, their qualities, nature, and so forth, but just in general, like think about the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha roughly, and then think that I'm going to take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha until I die. So if you keep on thinking like that every day, then you will get accustomed to take refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. So at the beginning, might not be very strong. It's just like if you have a full pot of water, you turn on the fire, it will not boil right away. But over the time, if you keep on burning it, for a long time, then eventually it will come to boil, just like that. If you keep on doing the practice, then eventually, you will gain the experience.
Okay, like that. Now I'm not talking too much. 아직 다 가서 말로 왔다 되게 말 가지고 그러고. 배차셔마이나. 근데 년년다도 저림보다 띵서보 가서 쳐봐라. 지금 대단 된게 대단 되는 게 받치 보는 거예요. 가도 오셔서 뭐.
So, so then, going back to our text. So it's like how much practice, we do, or how strong practice we do. That much familiarization will be with those teachings or with those topics.
제가는 다시 가라는 거지. 아무나 취지 사겠다 사대게 주원이 와서거나 그런 게 니바한테 받자이는 걸 마셨다. 아직 잘 못니 도구만도 와서 비대로 오셔도.
So just like if you want to get a taste or flavor of the food, then you have to spice it up. Add the spices, just as much as is needed. So just having some spices, spices just like that, will not give the flavor.
다 대충 말해서 다 하나씩 다 넘지 마도 나서 다 렌다 먹어들어야 아니 지금 고바당 조바당 아니 지금 맞아 너 샘당 아니 지금 뭐 받도 이거 더 좋게되나 삼성이 그래서.
And then, talking about that for the beginners like ourselves, we always have these, the mental excitements, and the regret, and the harmful intention, the ignorance, and so forth, very strongly.
제가 텐텔까지는 소수 따고 그래서 소수 대원은 조금 소수 다 따지지고 그래서.
And first of all, it is important to identify those, even though we have them all the time, but we don't even recognize or realize that we have them. So it is important to check whether we have them. So when we check and then we see that we have that, then we'll be able to stop it or change it like that.
And then tak not so like courage and tell a chick of race, young tobacco race. They never young Johnny race. They much about tobacco race. Anything in the sheriff than the Zunyam race.
And then whatever kind of activities that we engage in, we have to have faith or believe in that task, and and then we have to make an effort to complete that task, and then in order to complete it, then we have to keep on doing it, without forgetting how to do it and so forth. And then for that we need a concentration, wisdom, and so forth like that.
That issue that attack correction do so, so got to she to the Naga Chintu Tadantation, Len Daka Shiga Madeshi, the Tayana Yang the Sambana, the Nimbo Gomni, Yamajas.
And so then the next, is the verse 47, 46. So it's talking about the conceit. So the conceit will not rise if the antidote is considered again and again. And I think I am not exempt from sickness, aging, death, separation from my loved ones, and subjugation to my karma.
Okay, we understand that.
What do you understand from that? Maybe each of you can explain according to your understanding.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like it's kind of humbling to make you realize that you're not above any, you're not like at the high level yet, and you're still suffering. Right? We're still in the same place.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't really achieved yet.
Okay. Any others, Jennifer?
Well, I think as your qualities increase and your realizations increase, having pride or arrogance is bad, and so you have to think about, to keep that down, that you still, regardless, you're still, subject to aging and sickness and death, and to not get too puffed up.
Okay. How about Luca?
Yes.
Same guys?
Yeah.
Different?
Arrogance and like just keep putting antidote. I'm no difference under the influence of karma and the age, sickness, and death. And I'm no difference. Arrogance.
Okay. How about Alex? Same.
No, I think, but I mean, I don't know.
They same then to explain it. Who has different? Mark, you do the song?
Mine's 90% the same, but it's like if you are rooted in helping other people, probably you won't get arrogant.
Wow.
Similar, but one way I sort of was thinking of it is thinking that I'm subject to all these things. I'm no different from anybody else because we all have these.
Okay. Then let the dog shake my chance to tell you my songs. Or Nemo Gongers and the Kani Chawamata, Navata, Gavata, Chawata team, Tikun, let the dog shake my dish and Jamason.
So none of you talked about the subjugation to my karma.
Oh, you did not. Sorry. Good. Sorry.
I was putting everything in the list. And I'm no different from anybody else.
Oh, okay.
That's good. That's good.
Cause and effect. Same for everything.
Okay. I think on the little date call the inside someone do the pressure protection.
So do you think it is like that, or is it just what is explained in the text?
Now, after that the series, now I'm going to
So we got sick, right? Do we?
Oh,
We don't get sick.
no,
We do get sick.
What is that?
we don't. I mean,
No.
yeah, I get sick, but I don't always think about.
Yeah, we don't think about that. For me, why I'm sick there,
Right.
why I got that. It's not think about I'm sick, why, but always unhappy, uncomfortable. Right? What at that time? What do you think?
So this is what you when you have to understand that this is my karma.
난 제대로 다 소소 지역은 맞다. 다 소소고 년년제 파마 빈종도 주치와나. 그럼 생각보다.
Then talks about death, right? So, when there's a death happening, like not only oneself, but also one's friends or loved ones and so forth. At that time, we feel sad and unhappy, right?
Then let somebody is, then let is.
And at that time also, we should think that this is also a karma.
And 소소 사세게 디비고 보야나 소소고 년년도 다 디바다 차베도가. 아까로. 그게 된 맞으비도가. 가요와다 차베도가 영어로 봐서.
And then there's the suffering of separation from the loved ones, right? And then the separation of meeting with the kind of ugly or unwanted things like that. So those kind of sufferings also, right?
단데 랭도 타이스 랭도 상담고 그래서.
And at that time also one should think that this is how the karma works. This is the karma like that.
This makes sense, right? 되게 다 열려도 뒤틀이 some 토와이나 나도 열려 변기래.
So if we are able to think in that way, then that will help with our practice.
제가 내 대다 야다야다 셈반스 되게 렌데가 나도 야네 야도 공부해 놨어.
So if we think about this like that, so how this is all by the karma, because of our karma that we get sick and so forth, then if you think about it again and again like that, because it's a karma like that again and again. Yes.
I was going to say that you're absolutely right. It would help. I was going to say earlier that it would be helpful if I could think of karma when I'm sick. Usually I'm just, I'm sick, you don't really think about karma right away. It takes me a while to get to that point, what I mean? But I think I'm getting a little quicker at getting to it, but I'm still in that suffering thing, in that suffering place, like you're still kind of dealing with you feeling bad for yourself, that. No.
난 너도는 네 잡아게 되는 거래서. 네 뭐 곰네 잡아잖아. 다 잡아게 되는 거잖아.
So then it's like consider will not arise, if the antidote is considered again and again, right? So how do we get the conceit?
다 내가 잡아게도. 내가 잡아자고도. 다 나와든 치워도는 나 잡아고 빠져 셈마 샴도로. 나와든 치워다 저거다 그 동안이야 돼. 셈 잡아고 말어. 잡았는 가지고 지금 그리고 셈 킹만 올라도.
So what is the conceit here?
Connection that. How to make connection that. 얘들은 저거를 봐. 제가 나와야 될 일을 상담 그래서. 개와는 상담을 다 대상도 그때 잡아만 가는 거야.
So like when we get sick, you should think, oh, this is my karma. Or when you get separated from loved ones, you should think this is my karma. Like everything, you should think that your karma, right? So that will help you not to get so sad and so forth, right? But then it is saying that conceit will not rise also. So how will thinking that will help to not rise the conceit?
Connect. Something connect, right? Okay, man. Yes, Bob.
So what is the conceit here?
Are we talking about the root illusion of pride, that non?
No, it's a
Yeah, it's a similar.
It's that's where we're.
Yeah, it's a similar.
Or is it
pride?
It's pride.
Pride, yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to pride. This is what it's talking about conceit. When you say conceit, is it a pride?
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's what.
What connection?
Would it be arrogant?
Yeah, the
Arrogance.
how connect that? Yeah, arrogance.
Connection because it's.
Yeah.
Well, it still is to me, it's still dangerous. So like you have the thought of karma. It's just action over time. But like I could say the same thing in a current time. I'm rich, you're poor because I work hard, you're lazy. And karma is just the same thing over vast time. So like, like the Brahmins would say, like poor people, they're poor because it's their karma. So doesn't cure conceit at all to me. I don't see even.
But it says it cures, right? Kind of.
I don't see. I could be very arrogant and say whatever you suffer, it's your karma.
But you have no control, really.
But now how you connect? There's something connect here.
It's saying, I did the negative actions to cause this negative result.
It works for yourself, but then when you apply it to others, you say, well, you drank too much, now you've got no liver, that's your karma, you know, you did.
That's,
That's not a reason
that's a
not to
lack
have
of,
compassion.
that's the lack of compassion, yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, but
Then you need to
this is
yourself.
like saying understanding that creates compassion. I think you've got to cross that bridge. In and of itself, it doesn't.
So Geshe, your question was, how is it that contemplating
Yeah.
that
If you think
these
about karma, if you age, sickness, the thing to you, this is my karma, then how reduce your pride? Yeah.
Understand?
yeah, yeah. Well,
You need to be some
right,
connection.
because you would think that I would think that in the same way, let's say that you had some realization, right? And so maybe you're feeling pride about that, but you say, well, that's just a dependent arising too. That's just karma. That's just, and that at any moment can change and can get sick.
See, like when you're sick, right?
Yeah.
And then when you get sick, and then you think this is because of my karma that I'm sick, right?
Yeah.
How will that reduce your haughtiness? Thinking that I'm great, I'm strong, like that, So that's the haughtiness, right?
You just see that you're.
You see the connection?
Yeah.
See, if you think like that, right? That haughtiness, and the thinking that, oh, I'm so and so, like that,
Yeah.
The pride, that would be like, that's what Geshe wants to hear.
Yeah, so it's like humbling.
How you do that? How that works?
And if I was so great, then I wouldn't get sick.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So when you get sick, then you think about it,
Yeah,
that will reduce the haughtiness.
Yeah.
Haughtiness or conceit or pride or arrogance or whatever you want to call it. So many words. Man.
Yeah.
I'm strong and I'm
Pride is like one of the root.
but you don't need to go pride. Why you need this one? I need to this one. In your body, they pride in the Japan debug.
So yeah, I mean, whether whether it's
Whatever you
haughtiness
call
or
it.
pride or arrogance, whatever it is, but how does this thinking, about the karma, for everything that happens to us, how does the thinking that it is karma for everything that happens to us reduces our haughtiness or conceit or
It makes us look
pride.
at the reality, right?
Mhm.
Makes us look at what's real.
Oh,
What's real.
소속이 원에단 그럴 때그 학교 걸었어. 원에서도 학교에서 이게 된 야වත් 맞춰.
Something I thought about in regards to subjugation to my karma is it helps you. It is helping me realize as a the entitlement of, oh, it's not my fault, it's others' faults, where if you consider karma, you're like, I'm the one who sowed the seeds. Why I'm struggling right now with whatever I am struggling with, like as you can see, I have dystonia, and whatever I did in the past gives me the condition that I have now, and as opposed to getting like what Rabina Curtin talks about, like the deflated pride being like, oh, self-pitying me, more this subjugation to my karma is I have sowed the seeds of this. I have to accept the responsibility. And even if I have good conditions now, they are impermanent. And if I rest on the laurels of these good conditions, I'm going to end up in I will be destroyed by very bad conditions brought about by sickness. Or what I'm trying, sorry, no, or what I'm trying to say is like as opposed to blaming others, or as opposed to giving into entitlement, karma right now, as I'm thinking about it, as I have this Estonian stuff, makes me think like I have to take responsibility for my actions, and that there's so much that I do not know and have not experienced, and to not give into a conceit that like I'm sorry, is what I'm saying make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Yeah, Jennifer. I need to the connection, You don't need to which means ego, which is the and just
So how is it possible if you contemplate, that you're not exempt from sickness, aging, and death, and you're subject to karma? How does that bring down your
ego.
your ego? How does it?
The conceit or haughtiness.
Because I think because you just see that you're not in control, that it's not you, that what's in control is, isn't like pride based on the view of the transitory collection, it's like you don't see reality,
소설 엉이로 봐도 되는 투어는 됐어. 그 레기 엉그랬으면 소설 엉 통말은 안 되냐 다들 되게 되는 작업을 못 그랬어.
Well, one thing with some of these is that we have to rely on others. Like if we're sick, we rely on others to help us get better. We rely on, if we're aging and we can't take care of ourselves as well, then we have to rely on other people to help take care of us. If we're separated from loved ones and we're very sad, we might rely on somebody else to help us just feel a little bit comforted.
Okay.
That reliance
Others.
the fact that we need somebody else sort of helps bring down pride.
Okay. You got something?
I have a.
It makes sense?
Yes, totally. The different,
I'm going to say totally different. Okay.
but I have different understanding. The two different understanding I'm just thinking. One is, according to the commentary that I read, that it's like if you have a pride, you're on the way to path of sin. That pride, that kind of pride, just think, but I'm gonna still get sick, and this is because of karma. I'm still gonna get sick, just like everybody else. That's the connection that I see in this verse. But also, I remember that Nagarjuna experienced pride has a different meaning, just not just a puffing up, like I'm better than you, but there's other more meaning, like 7 other meanings. One is like strong attachment to I am, the aggregates. That's that. So there's a different meaning. It's not just I am great. Not just that. Right? Arrogance means different meaning.
Okay.
I think something different. I did like what you said a lot because it relating to the aggregate seems to be fairly plausible. My thought is kind of along with Bob, like you think you're great, but we still exist in the samsaric human realm. So how great could we really be if we still age?
Okay, good. Okay. You guys are pretty similar, good relation. I'm going to totally different way, okay? I'm not saying you guys are wrong. Everyone have different understanding this part. No? When 나를 동안 왔다, 개비 동안, 치비 동안 매와이나, I'm saying 가리고.
If we don't have the suffering of sickness, aging, and death, then what kind of feeling do we get?
나도 타파이스, 나도 땜보이스, 나도 fuchem보이스 it was.
So if we don't get sick, you think, oh, I'm strong, right?
Yeah.
되게 골라 가지고 개마치려는 거야.
So then with that, you get the haughtiness, right?
Yeah.
You get the haughtiness, you think that I'm strong.
그 개에다 던지게 누가 마셔보이나? 다나 다시 들어주시려는 거야.
Then also, if you don't experience the suffering of aging, then you think that, oh, I'm young and beautiful all the time, right?
다들 수줍은 군이거든요. 지금 쟁개들에 마셔보이나? 야, 때려치다 미션받은 말하고 말은 독사비 소치려는 거야.
And then also, if you don't experience the suffering of separating from the loved ones, then you also have this hardness thinking, oh, I'm so good, I have everything perfect around me, like that, right?
And
then also, so whatever you do, if you find success in everything that you do, you are successful and everything is going well, just like you plan and think, then again, you get that hardness, right? Do you get it?
Do you think this?
Yeah, it's like when
It's not really strong, very bad, but we have something there, right?
it's like when we were studying chapter 6 in Shantideva. So what are some of the benefits of suffering? Is that it reduces pride, right? The suffering.
Yeah, what is you? Is it the younger? It is like that.
You got that kind of haughtiness?
Yeah.
다 딘딩이 되게 opposite 제가 나지 쇼에나 그
저는 용주부도.
So, but then opposite to that, if you experience the suffering of aging, sickness, death, and then separation from the love and so forth, then that kind of hardness from not having that suffering will be reduced, right? Will not arise, right?
Yeah,
Does it make sense?
yeah, you're humbled by it.
제가 텔레펜도 드리지고도 니네 소소가 대용한테 내가 찾아 양 샘 셔마로 집에 도서. 잡아마 잡아도 샘 마시마시 받대 소소를 내래스.
And then also, if you think about, it as a karma, right? So this is my karma. And then that also helps, to not be like, completely hopeless, right? Okay, so there's nothing I can do like that,
Does it make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, which one better? You guys better, I'm better. Both so.
More clear,
We,
Geshe-la.
we need a little bit more connection, right?
I think I'm better. You think you're better?
Yeah. But this is, I think you're good, same direction. But we need to some kind. I heard this photo. So he's holding this, some commentary like that. And of course, we just hear then we not sick. We have something. I'm very healthy person. Before I have that, before I got accident, I'm very healthy. I go doctor, they don't buy anything. After since they found me everything. That one. Before really, I feel so. I'm very healthy. I feel I healthy. I'm not. I'm very strong girl. Some chilegdo. That they shoot the chan. That nema mewadre. That about 10 was a ton.
So then, when you experience this, the suffering of aging and so forth, then, you find out, you have more and more problems coming in your body. Right?
Okay, this makes sense. It's remark. Now I have different question. That the lela ralease. The lela kao.
So you say like it depends on your karma, right? It's because of your karma. So what kind of karma is talking about?
There's more.
So like when we experience something like, separate from the loved ones, you said that's a karma. What kind of karma are we talking about?
Like a negative karma or like a
No, I'm asking you guys.
what?
Yeah. What are you thinking?
Because you negative karma action, you experience for them. But just negative karma, or you have some what negative karma?
Is there a particular negative karma?
Just or negative karma, just general or some.
Like personal karma?
I don't know.
Like if you experience the sickness, right? You say this is your karma, right? Is it your
Yeah.
karma? It is karma.
Yeah.
So what kind of karma causes you the sickness?
Killing karma?
What do you think? Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you think?
like harming others.
I was thinking completing karma.
Okay.
Sometimes, I don't know if it could be environmental, if you're eating foods affected by the environment,
Mr. Rock.
I think about that question every day.
늦게 채거라. 그래서 고리우기 전에 내가 나야 내 채거라. 늦게 채거라.
I mean, we're taught that similar causes create similar effects. So you would have to say that you did something in the past that resonated to have you experience something similar.
I think it's actually the projecting karma, because if you appropriate the aggregates, then you just are, that's, the suffering of, conditioned existence. That's, so it's got to be propelling karma that would.
Okay.
Geshe-la,
Yes.
I don't understand. There's something I don't understand. This thing about, well, there's a lot I don't understand, but this separation from loved ones, and you could say, it's the karma of that person to leave. You can be sad, but I don't understand how it's your own karma, unless it's how you feel about separation from loved one. That's the karma. Is that the karma that's expressed? How you feel about that separation? Because it's just reality that people live for a while and they die and you feel sad, but not necessarily suffering. So that's what I'm just not too sure about.
What's it? They want to do it with Chaba Manes. Hasan, me do was it, do what the tower, the sweet letters, Korangi mission that the Tedungi Chiki letter, and another thing, other letters. Another lane, another less I got the Mahabu. This, I mean, the do what the Ted and the Mishi doesn't the Koranda share that Ashira, for she was still at it. Do one young woman does. Do it with the Taiwan, you might cover does one.
Mama, they do this. But I'm not also so that. 땅을 탐에다 파마도 마셔가 파마 마시 동으로 봤어. 저는 누구도 좀 파마도.
Yeah, of course, it's a natural, that people die and then, they go on, to the next life like that. But then, but even if that is the reality, but you still feel sad, right? Like when your parents die, when your loved one die, right? Somebody very close to you, your friend, when they die, you feel sad. You suffer, right? Don't you?
Well, I'm not sure that feeling sad is the same as suffer. Well, I guess it's a form of suffering. But I'm talking about when people get very emotional. They can't even understand that somebody died. Like they were so young. How did they die? I've heard that.
Yeah, the sadness, that we experience is the suffering. So, you don't have to when you think about suffering, it is something that we don't want to see, we don't want to experience, right? So that is called suffering. So somebody, loved ones passing away or being separated from someone that we love, we don't want to see that, we don't experience that. That's suffering.
무슨나 그런 그 레데면서 사 되는 레데다 좋아한다 그런 거나 렌더 something나 소소 심심해요 팽그레스.
But at that time, if someone who has understanding of Dharma and karma, thinks, oh, this is the nature of life. Everybody has to die. Once they are born, they have to die. This is their karma. This is their karma. This is my karma. That I have to be separate from them. If you think like that, then that helps to reduce that suffering or sadness.
It makes sense a little bit.
It just wasn't clear in my mind how you were defining suffering with separation from loved ones. So, okay, thank you.
Is it a little bit clear?
The one man dig it off. The one man do by the tower, the one man dig it off. What?
Do one man, did too much work on the Jala. So got a Jala law in it. Some Jumada. They were doing it.
So if that is not suffering, then that's good. Right? If being separated from something that you like or something that you love, if that's not suffering, then that's good. Like if somebody breaks into your house and steals your things that you like, if that's not suffering, then that's good. It's okay.
No, that would be suffering for me. Yeah, if somebody broke into my house, I would not be happy. Okay. Yeah.
Even though they broke it out, it's some things you like, some you can't. Broken, you feel sad. It's like that. I think somebody will be doing the
So you feel that sad, right? So sadness, like you feel the uncomfort in your mind, that's a suffering, yeah.
Okay.
So Geshe, what's the question again? You're saying what kind of karma is the
ladies.
but you mean the specific karma that resulted in sickness?
So
like usually you talk about creating karma, right?
Yeah.
How do you identify that?
How do you identify?
How do you describe that? How do you describe that? You create. You say, oh, I create a karma. Right? How do you create a karma?
Under the afflictions, under the influence of the afflictions, you create the karma. Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about?
It doesn't have to be an affliction. It could be any motivation, positive or negative. you then take an action motivated by that, and it leaves an imprint. And then when the imprint, when it ripens, if it was a negative karma, it will ripen into a suffering feeling. And if it was a positive karma, it'll ripen into a happy feeling.
But the question was about suffering.
There's intention?
Yeah, so we take,
The karma, what do you mean the karma?
Karma is it?
What create karma? Which karma you talk about? Usually, is a karma, how do you create the karma?
Karma is action.
What kind of karma? What kind of karma we talk about?
Well, if it's the result
For
of
us,
suffering.
connect with us, relate with us.
It's an action that leaves an imprint.
What action?
an action that we
It
took
could
in
be
the
a
past.
mental
We
action.
don't remember the action, but if we took
There should be
any
something
action.
similar.
But it is to be under the influence of the afflictions if it's resulting in.
Of course,
Yeah.
It's intention, right? Your intention to.
Okay.
for an
I think
action.
we stop there. 나 나오는 제보는 가거나 또 묶여버려 자요스 묶여버려. 링어에서 자요스.
So yeah, of course, there's the karma in general, right? So that's what
Yeah.
that's what kind of karma, right? So then, what are the karma that you create? And what are the karma that you create?
Yes, there's.
Physical karma, verbal karma, and mental karma, right?
Yeah.
So that's the kind
That's
of
the question.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the question.
specific, like let's say not exactly like, oh, I got this because I did this at that time, and at that time in many years before, I did this action, and because of that, not like that specific. No, that can be only explained by Buddha, but in general, like you're talking about like that.
레사 세대 영다 리더 되다 봐. 영은 가다 되다 봐. 영가로 얘들 되다. 대대 되다 말이 붙이는 거 말이야. 대 넘겨 줘야 돼.
When we
레사
create a karma, usually we create with our body, speech, or mind. Right? So it has to be those three like that.
오케이. 대인반대 넘는 지구는 나 세지 타워야 돼.
So that is explained in the Great Lumbering very clearly.
근데 이번에 다 같이
When you say what kind of karma, there's so many different types of karma.
제가 되는 다 시당도 또 레서 가서 또 링어에서 또 뒤는 거는 생각해 줘다. 다 대는 바에 지금 레다 없어요. 또 레서와 돼.
So of course, we there's so many kind of karma, right? But then when we talk about the karma, how do you create the karma? It's usually you create karma by your body, speech, or mind.
Okay, it makes sense. This we need to find we don't want to go all directions everywhere. Also, we don't want to go to very far away. It's something not connect with us. The
non-virtuous actions that we create through our body, speech, and mind, right? So those 10 non-virtuous actions, we are very connected with that, right?
Yes.
Just question, so I like that to separate, but what you do mentally affects you physically. What you do physically, it's not like they're separate. They all interplay with each other, right?
But semgi cheba the lula ralegoras, lugi cheba the similar ralegoras. They cheba. There's some of them chichila ralegoras.
Okay, that's it.
I don't even understand his question.
No, you see?
Your action of the mind
Yeah.
comes from the body.
Yeah.
And the body of action of the body comes from mind. That's what he's saying.
Like if you think,
Yeah, it's like it's related with each other, dependent on each other.
How does the action of the body, like the action of, you're saying that the action of the mind depends on the body? How?
if you do an action with your mind, it will affect your body.
But
If
you
you're
said the
depressed,
reverse.
you have psychosomatic correspondence to that depression.
But that's not an action of your body. What do you,
Well, if you do,
Now,
if
how
you
you
do
create that?
exercise,
How you create that will come out from the body? No, you say he's because not your percent.
no, he was doing his counter evasion didn't
That
work.
was you need to fix it. What is negative karma? The collect
Caused by the body.
body, yeah.
Yeah, if I go in and I punch somebody, then that is a negative.
then that doesn't affect your mind, seriously?
No, but the mind was what affected that. But I mean, yeah, I mean there were, I might have the next state of mind. I might feel happy from that. I think.
코로나는 답변은 아주 수복이 미지를 쉬워요, Sure, subuh-subuh ina te tela semla chik tangi chon dimasolan chik semla soja gura. Tedi karche garsan te subuh gi chawla tene semla soja guras.
Te mama tambo subola kono yores. Kono semne chini subo shugure.
And subuh shuna the jela semla.
Semna yang joy on shugure.
Yeah, I mean, it may bring the effect. You can, like, if you hit somebody,
Yeah.
and then I said, oh, I should not have hit the person, right?
Mhm.
I should not have hit the person, or I should not have, stolen. I should not have done this, like that, so forth. Right? So, yeah, that affects the mind. But then at the beginning, it is the mind which makes the body, to move. And then when the body moves, then the mind get affected also. Yeah, you can,
Right, but
like,
over
in that way, yeah.
Yeah.
But when we're saying like dependent, the mental action doesn't depend on the physical action.
No, not, it starts, but over time,
But yeah, it can affect each other.
I might just start enjoying killing people.
Yeah.
If I do
No,
it enough.
killing the fish. You don't think killing fish, birds. Enjoy that. People are not killing the fish, just enjoy. Killing. But motivations from mind, body catch, hand catch. They're both connection. Yeah. Okay. That and that dinner can make what you be cool. The and a lot of them do so you do that in the man of my love shooting that.
They have separate karmic tracks, like, what,
It's not connected.
no, they're connected, but like, let's say you physically, you're walking along, you step on an ant and you kill the ant, so that's physical karma, but it's a
But if
totally
you-
different karma than.
Children karma, it is true.
Yeah.
You're just walking, kill the birds, some sort. You know, your mind regard.
Yeah.
Because body kill, your mind regard.
Right, but that's a
Not connected.
separate karmic track than the karma created by the killing,
What karma?
the mental karma.
Yeah, what karma? What the cost? Credit the karma. Because
The regret, yeah.
no,
The feeling bad, like when you have done something like you killed, right? And then later you feel bad, right?
Yeah.
So that feeling bad came from that karma of killing or not?
different karma.
Or is it different karma? You're saying like separate track. What do you mean like that?
Well, the result, karma refers to the action, but the result from it, like the result from killing the bug will have its own, the karma from killing the bug will have its own result, and the karma of regretting it will have its own result.
But karma, regard, where they come from? Regard good, right? Feel bad, but
So the feeling bad is a result, isn't it?
which result?
From killing, yeah.
Yeah,
That's the same.
exactly. So that feeling, that result, came from the killing, right?
Result.
From the physical action.
Aren't they
So
two
can you
different-
calling that a karmic result?
Since you have to check then, what result is? What result? Is it result? Is it
So you see, this when we talk about the cause and condition, right?
Right.
So this feeling is conditioned by that action of killing.
That-
So that's not the result, but it's not a cause, but it's the condition for that
Right, but
experience.
it's not the result. It's not a karmic result. You're right. That stepping on
That was an
the
accident.
bug
right?
was
Yeah.
just a
That's-
condition for the.
No, it is a result of that condition.
There was
It's not the real
intention-
cause.
There was no intention to kill, right?
The karma that created that feeling of regret, that ripening of in the feeling of regret,
Uh-huh.
is different karmic track than stepping on the bug.
But didn't that serve as a condition for that feeling?
It's a condition.
Exactly, yeah. So the condition is also cause, right?
Not
It's
the
auxiliary cause.
Yeah, that's
Not a substantial cause,
not
but
the
auxiliary.
substantial cause.
Yeah, but it's auxiliary cause. So it came from that.
As a cause.
But if there were an intention to kill the bug and you thought after, that felt good, I'm gonna do that again, that's a different mind track that would be a different mind track.
Different mind, because
Yeah, but the
accident-
condition, that killing served as a condition for that good feeling or bad feeling to happen.
So which did, the killing the bug or the
Yeah,
intention?
killing the bug, yeah.
The intention didn't have anything, that's still in your mind though, that's your
No,
intention.
you don't have any intentions. You kill the small bug,
Right,
body starve. Since you see, you're very sad.
right.
Because your body do the action, carry the negative karma, it's also with the cause or condition feeling bad. They are connection. That means we know really exactly. It is really
Make sense?
It makes sense that.
Did you understand what
that
Geshe was
makes
saying?
sense. My question is, like your mind, because your mind is thinking about it, after.
No,
the
you don't
fact.
have to think.
No, you
So
don't
when
think
you're
to-
walking,
when
you
you're
don't
walking.
think of killing.
Yeah, you don't.
But you
think it-
stepped on it accidentally.
Right,
Right?
accidentally.
Accidentally. So you didn't have the intention to kill it.
Right.
You just stepped on it accidentally, and then you killed it with your body, right?
Right.
And then later you feel regret, right? Oh, no, I should have watched, or I should not have stepped on it like that, But your mind didn't have, you didn't have the intention.
Right.
Your action made you feel regret, So that regret came from that action.
Right.
So that's not the substantial cause of that regret, but that's the condition
Right.
that served, for the regret to arise.
I understand that. That makes sense. I was just wondering, like, does that action still, that physical action of stepping on a bug, you having that reaction afterwards if you did it intentionally?
No, I'm
Is
not
that still
talking about
mental?
intentionally.
I know we're not, but I was just asking because
If you'd have it intentionally, then maybe you wouldn't
That's
have that
different.
regret.
You wouldn't have the regret. So
Exactly.
would that be a different type? That would be a different type of.
It's different. It's different.
That's a totally different type.
Yeah,
Okay.
because your action, motivation to your
Motivation,
action,
right.
your body. Yeah.
You have the intention, there you have the intention,
Okay.
and you say, oh, I want to kill it, and then you kill it, and then you feel good. And you,
Right.
oh, now it's gone, so I'm good, I feel good. Now
Yeah.
I will not be bothered by it, like that.
Right.
You have that kind of feeling.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, 당연히 찾아가고 니나라다. 개비 추시 샤완 라다 미 제그 포즈 속에 짜와인 거 짜와데스.
그리고
딱 개비 주다. 네가 뭐 겨쳐라 가만 보인다 좀. 샤완다 라다 미딱 제그 포즈 속에 참이 개와트가 짜와데스.
So when we talk about the suffering or happiness, right? So then when we are going to the specific karma, what kind of karma? Then when you ask what kind of karma, then it's the suffering is it has to be negative karma of the body, speech, and mind. If it is the happiness or perfections, or auspiciousness, then it has to be the positive karma.
제다까지 딱 계획이 주까지 개와 보면 개와때 라다 미 제고 참이 딱 개와 참아서 짜와데스. 대 예도다 아산제다 저저스미 짜와데스.
So in the Lamrim Chemo, in the Great Lamrim, it says that the virtue, the 10 virtue of abandoning the 10 unvirtuous action, is the cause of all the goodnesses of the humans, gods, and so forth, right? And then that's also the root of the healers and soul dwellers and bodhisattvas path.
아니 일하는 뭐 야도 샴시 짜와데스.
That also, not only that, that also becomes the root of the peerless state of enlightenment also.
다들 짜와도 다가는 배샤니 그나 사샤데 캄바디압사야 생전도사야 따다 심모 못한 도사 처장 짜와데도 살때 거 어때도 그래서.
So that's just like the ground, that we are here, we are on, is the base, for everything, for building a house, for plowing the field, and for walking and driving and everything is this ground, right? So just like that. So from this ground comes all those things, right?
제가 뭐게 쭉 방다 개와 제대다 개와 참이가 짜와데 투데 그래서.
And so the 10 virtuous action of abandoning the 10 unvirtuous action, is the root of all the virtues.
그래? 제가 되게 뭐게 왔다 내셔야 돼요. 다 뭐게 왔지 그래서.
So the non-virtuous action is also the 10 non-virtuous actions. It's referring to the 10 non-virtuous actions.
그래? 그다 도도로다. 도도 신나다 내 잡는 뭐 이러. 도도.
So in general, you can say what kind of karma and what kind of action is the 10 non-virtuous actions. For the sufferings, it's a 10 non-virtuous action.
Okay? It makes sense or not make sense? What do you think?
I think the three non-virtues of the mind are not action, right? Those are afflictions.
이게 매겨선데 레마라스 때서 되는 요몽라스.
요몽 되게 진 레서. 요몽들 때는 레서. 레서.
그냥 레마라 되는 요몽라스.
요몽 건들래 말이야.
아. 맞다. 이게 매겨선데 레마라스. 아, 저거는 요몽라스.
나스는 가지 어쨌든 고라래는 뭐지? 대라 때는 이지 리가 있음들 때네 샤워 시간다 다 가지 먹이 레서 되거든. 고라는 가지 리가 예수 되기 샤워 저와 될 때니
당연히 넣었으면 줘라. 넣었으면 되는 거 너무 많잖아. 넣었으면 주고 해놔 되는 내 사교를 써 말.
됐어 말.
넣었으면 주고 왜 레사교
아
말.
그래 그 세는 거 사는 말 봐.
먹다 주고 왜 레사교 말.
레사가 레사.
레사고
예, 지금 그래 레사. 야. 지금 제대로 시작하고.
쓰대가 돼.
예.
레사교도 거기다 레라.
네, 그게 제대로 싸고.
So like when you have the harmful intention, right? So if you have a harmful intention, it says, let's say you didn't engage in any kind of action, just had a harmful intention. Do you create karma or not?
Yes.
You did. So that's a karma then, right?
Done what? What your question?
But you're saying it's not a karma. It's a
Second, so we say that, so in the three being the covetousness and the ill will. So
Yes.
just, so the possession of ill will in the mind is an action.
nothing 잘 내라. Makes sense or not?
Yes.
No, it's a debate here, right? So okay.
It's just a big, yeah.
Because a mental action is an action.
Yeah, mental action.
But the final aspect of like the four factors of karma, right? So it's the action that completes it. So for malice, it's the deciding to act it out. You do have to perform some sort of an action, correct? You have to act it out for the completing karma to be created. Same thing with covetousness. You have to decide. You have to make it your own, right? Or like decide to make it your own. Which I don't see how that's much different than stealing and killing. Stealing and killing, you have the object is another person, malice is another person. You're still operating under the three poisons. You still have the motivation behind it, and you still have to act upon it. So how is malice really any different than killing as far as being body or mind?
그냥 내 줘봐라서. 일단 내 줘봐라. 근데 내가 이제 루길래라. 근데 꿀렁 주고라서. 레라 슈고라서. 아니 레데 되다 가서 다 지송 삼바치고 삼고라다 담아져라. 아니 근데 네 삼바다 시간 그거라서. 내 줘봐라. 이게 내 줘봐라 가르쳐 거라서.
이제 또 도발라 이제 그 거라 내가 전에 그 배다 내가 샤워지 제대로 도는 거. 지금 그만 잡고로 삼마다 이제 그다 수보라 그만 잡.
그만 너버 저거 삼바져라.
제가 삼마치.
삼바라게 내 주고 말이야.
누가 지금
너슨 땀게 내 주고.
삼 도말. 너슨 좀 제발 때네.
내 마사서.
너슨 좀 제발 때네. 내 도도 말. 내 차상 비. 용주도 살 도다. 내 사사 보내서.
내 사사 그랬어.
내 사사 비나 내 용주도 차도 사도 말. 내 차도 도말 용주도 차. 내 차도 도말. 내 도면서 이제 뭐 버려.
So like in the mental karma, the mental karma is kind of tricky, right? So I don't know if you can create a complete karma of the mental karma.
Without having some sort of physical action.
Exactly.
I mean,
Verbal
except
action or physical action, right?
Wrong view, you could though. The wrong view, you just are deciding to deny the object, right? That'd be entirely mental. You wouldn't have to do an action to deny.
But so like, let's say the wrong view, right? So someone who doesn't believe in past and future life. That's the wrong view, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then,
So just by not believing in past and future life,
Right.
you create negative karma?
no, the action upon it, yeah, that's interesting.
Huh?
No. You do have to.
내 제발 용주도 차 사버려.
So you don't create negative karma by not believing in past and future life?
In that instant.
So not being Buddhist, it's so much laughing. If you don't believe in past and future life, you're creating negative karma all the time. Right? Mentally. Isn't it?
I never thought about that.
용주도 살려도 도말. 용주도 도 대도 말이야. 내 사사로 그랬어.
I guess the
So
base.
yeah, you're creating karma all the time, right?
Yeah, the base.
You're creating karma, but do you create a complete karma or not?
No.
Not complete karma, but you create a karma.
Yeah.
But if you fantasize about something like, I'm going to kill this person, I really want to kill this person, eventually you could kill that person.
Yeah. Then it will be complete
Building
karma.
up for it, you're planning it. Oh, he walks home, I'm going to get him on the way to the car and
Yeah.
stab him. It builds. It's still an action. It's building. Then you complete it.
Yeah, then when you have done that, then that's completed, right? But before that, you do create a karma. You say your mind going on and thinking, oh, I'm going to kill him, I'm going to, crash him like that. That mind. When you're having that mind, you're already creating karma. But it doesn't get completed until you really crash that person or kill that person like that.
But I think you go to human being, we're too strong. We say, we have mouse, our mouse. I want to kill the mouse. But the person, after you done, if you're not very happy that you said, I did. What I want, I did. This is complete. Those things we do all the time. We don't mean nobody kill the people, right? If you want some back to you, someone, for motivation, you say that today I did very good. What I want to say, things I did. You feel something like that. Not really happy, enjoy them, but something like that. You feel that's a complete karma. Yes.
But with the modes, right? We see a mode and we think, I'd like to kill that mode, but then I think that's negative. I shouldn't do that. I stop myself from killing it.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's creating some positive karma by not killing the mode.
But if you also force your motivation, you also negative karma.
Yeah.
Then you don't keep, then you don't get the negative karma. Okay? Now, I don't know you guys got it or not. And they got it. Let's say they do go and cheat on
So anyway, so this here, like all these, so it's because of karma, you get separated from loved ones. Because of karma, you get age, you get sickness, all these things. Yeah. So this negative karma the karma you're talking about, is negative karma. Right? So it has to be physical, mental, or verbal negative karma.
Okay? 딱 안지 저와 맞다고 되는 챔바였나? 되는 쇼와였나? 되는 쇼와였나? 근데 렌즈 상다고 그래서.
And so when these things that happens, like the death and the impermanence and the separation from the loved one and so forth, then that time you have to think about the karma.
근데 되는 쇼와도 누가 게 말이야. 되는 쇼와는 저런 잡아지 말이야.
So if you think about karma like that, then you will not get that conceit or haughtiness.
다들 쉬우되나? 쉽되나?
Okay, now the next verse.
같은 돈이 타와 누에시나 야다 타와 공부한 여든들 강사 로버 타위 레시 점 탐적 넘버는 방 데텐스 단지 대가고.
So the verse 47, it says, if you desire a higher rebirth or liberation, you must become familiar with the right view. Someone with a wrong view may do good deeds, but they will experience horrific results.
Okay, what you understand? The first one, you guys are clear? Little bit clear. Make more of that. Okay, now what do you think this one?
It's a very difficult one. Very difficult. Because it throws cause and effect to the wind.
Yes.
So it says, even if you do really good things, right?
Yeah.
You can experience horrific results.
That's how it's saying.
That's exactly what it's saying.
It says someone with
Maybe you interpret it different, but that's not read right.
You can see
No, it says if you have wrong view.
Yeah. So someone
You
that,
do with the wrong view.
But
So if I have wrong view and I cure cancer, I'm gonna suffer. That's exactly what it's saying.
Yeah.
no,
Yes.
what, I think if someone with the wrong view of rebirths, like death and rebirth, like future lives, someone that kills themselves and somebody else thinking, oh, we'll be finished with this life.
No, I think you can really, you just go to very far away. How to put it with your own daily life, okay?
Oh, you
No, someone do that, someone did that, someone that. We need to our daily life. This thing is very all kind of daily life. I don't want you guys to say, oh, someone's going to that.
Okay.
Someone's doing that. It looks not kind of with us. Okay?
So like if somebody gives someone a meal, for example, but their motivation is other people will think I'm so good because I'm, donating.
Okay.
And that would be a negative action because they're not doing it out of a wish to benefit the other person. They're doing it out of a wish to have a better reputation.
Hold on, yeah.
Sure.
I see your point, Bob. Well, like even in the Gospels, like what does Jesus talk about in each one like over 100 times is like hypocrisy of you're doing good actions to look good rather than doing good actions because you recognize they are good. And thinking about the wrong view, I feel like we can even connect wrong view back to conceit and arrogance, like because that kind of hypocrisy of like it gives you a holier than thou attitude, be like, look how good I am, look what I'm doing for this person and that person, like I said in the gospel, like trumpeting your deeds rather than the right view, which is, I believe, like based in like wisdom and like a wisdom synonymous with a humility, with like the humility of practicing getting rid of those entitled views.
Okay. Somebody, 가도 가대에 전환기 내가 둘이다. 다도 타와 되바이 나서 응해주는 나도 가대에서 전환된다 말이라는 거지.
그래서 니라분들은 욕해서 말해. 분들은 욕을 최초리다 가만히 들다. 아서 로봇하고 렉지 짱 암지 나오는 멤버 미세든스.
템 다도 가대 둘이다. 가대 둘이 땅이 돌아다 미고 마다. 얘네 타와도 이제부터 내나 야다 타와니로 야다 타와 공부 얘들 돼서 줄 거도 와서.
The first two line is easy to understand, right? Makes sense and acceptable, right?
Yeah.
So if you desire a higher rebirth or liberation, you must become familiar with the right view. Is that correct? So what is the correct view here? The right view here?
There's two. If you're desiring higher rebirth, then the right view would be with respect to karma and past and future lives. And if you are desiring liberation, then it would be the ultimate correct
So
view.
there's a term for that. We call it the mundane right view and the supramundane right view.
And the supramundane right view, the two, yeah.
Ulrika,
Yes, first two lines.
are you going to?
No, I'm thinking.
Okay. Are you going to? I say. Go back. Go back.
Excitement.
Are you excited? Oh.
You're paying attention, right?
Just being quiet.
나도 저번에 따뜻했어. 야도 뱉다고 직대비 야다보다 직대는 대비 야다고 이유래서.
So there's this term, right? So mundane correct view and then the supramundane correct view. So there's two kind of right view causes you to have a higher rebirth. With the supramundane right view, you have a higher rebirth, and the supramundane right view, you have liberation from cyclic existence.
대예번에 가와는 남루심 나요. 당하고 남루심 같은 그런 것도 시행이 오자.
So this is also explained in the Lamrim, Red Lamrim.
다디 대 따다는 거래. 다디 강가 높았다 말씀진 나서 다디 배 먹었다고 그랬다. 막 그러는 신기. 지난기 높다다 때문에 한번 따고 싶으려고 했는데 이제 같이 개와 시바이나 이게 너무 저부터 휴침을 용도 말해요 그래.
심성만 내가 인지는 독자식을 그랬어요. horrific다. 그 독자식. 남이 독자식 그랬어.
무슨 말이야? 너 그런 거지.
그래, 이상.
로버타 사와 총리 주대 탐정 코알라마 짐서 봐. 메시지. 습바다. 내가 좀 문제였어. What that just said.
Well, it's saying the reason that, so it's very specific, the wrong view that causes good deeds, the horrific results are, if you're a nihilist, if you don't believe in,
Okay, not in the village. So
what about
What?
the proponents of the Babashka and South Antigua schools? The proponents.
Well, they're not nihilists, so
It's wrong view or not?
wrong view.
What they have is wrong view or not?
No, they,
That's the wrong view.
So who has the wrong view?
the non-Buddhists.
Yeah, okay. You can put the top of all non-Buddhism.
Well, if we're talking about the mundane wrong view, well, actually,
Okay, Bob, what do you
Who
think?
who has both wrong views?
Yeah, I'm saying here who have the wrong view, even to do virtuous action, they become bad karma, right?
Yeah.
It's a bad.
Like a nihilist.
Who has the wrong view? They all talk about wrong view. Nihilists,
Yeah, non-Buddhist, people that don't believe in karma.
they only talk about that.
I think it's just, I was thinking it's just mundane wrong.
Even like the other religions,
You do it in a
they do a lot of good things, but they do very bad things. They create bad karmas.
Sometimes.
Of course, sometimes of course, but even they do good things.
It says that if you don't believe in future lives and all the merit from your good
Yeah, who don't believe the
actions,
future life, even they do very generous good things. They do very bad things.
do they get bad results?
Yeah.
Well-
they get very, very weak good results. There's no
But they be good without. They're not bad without it. Even weak, they're better than nothing.
The bad result is you stay in samsara, because then if everything you do is for this life, then the actions will be actions that keep you in samsara.
Or if you do anything just for believing in rebirth, you're staying in samsara regardless.
but
If you don't believe in liberation and the ultimate reality,
no, but it says here if you desire a high rebirth. So
Okay.
that would be
I need to like Devra, Margaret, Moni, what do you talk, right?
a rebirth.
Mr. Ed,
four.
and you guys have something. Do you have something? Any comments, or just celebrate that? Sharon,
Question?
yeah. What do you think? What you have to think?
No, yeah, what I think the question, what you,
No,
I
what do you think?
associate,
I'm not saying you have to, what you think. What you understand this whole verses.
I can't hear you, I'm sorry.
What
was
do
the
you
question?
understand this? What do you understand this verses?
You understand? What do you understand from this verse Geshe is saying?
I want to think a little bit more.
Okay, think more. Okay, good.
Yeah, but
Think about some more. Bring next week. Okay, Deborah, Margaret. I think good. Adam and also Maureen already talk. Sharon, you will like to talk. Bob's already talk. Deborah and Margaret like hiding there. No, it's okay. You don't have to talk. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just waste your.
Huh? What we said? Just what we said. Who was like?
You would waste your life if you didn't have the correct view of the mundane. Even
This something you don't. Maybe we don't need to go too far with. But can you guys read that? This commentary.
yeah, it's
It's
here.
what they say.
Nihilists, they can engage in good actions. However, if a positive action is accompanied by or motivated by a nihilism, the strength of the merit created is greatly reduced. The result of that good action will come to fruition in samsara. In other words, it will have the nature of suffering. That is why Nagarjuna says that if you have the wrong view, even your positive actions result in misery.
With the mundane wrong view, which we're saying is you don't believe in rebirth, Jains and Hindus believe in rebirth, so it wouldn't be specifically non-Buddhist.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah.
can I think
Yes.
going back to what Bob said, inventing or discovering a cure for cancer. If you discover a cure for cancer because you want to get rich, that is definitely, non-virtuous because it's probably driven out of an attachment for money. But how does that, I assume from what Jennifer just said, that it matures. Like if I devour chocolate cake, or if I smell a rose because I enjoy and love the smell of roses, and there's an attachment there. It's not okay. How does that mature? I mean, if I kill somebody, I'm going to get killed. If I lie, nobody's going to believe me. If I steal, people are going to steal from me. But if I eat a chocolate cake without offering it up, you just devour it because I love chocolate cake. I assume that matures. It's simply you come back in the next life with infinitely more attachment to chocolate cake.
Or maybe
And-
not
and-
finding chocolate cake anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's
You devour everything now, so you have nothing left for next time.
well, but the non-virtues, I mean, aversion and greed, how do those manifest? They must manifest just in repetition of the same thing. You're going to come back with a love for chocolate cake, or I mean, make whatever you want it can be. And I just, how does that manifest? Because that is not necessarily a bad act. It's disassociated from the 10 non-virtuous acts. You basically have a benign thing, eating a chocolate cake, smelling a rose. But we know that those all can turn negative. And how do they mature when they do turn negative?
그게 디마시 뭐지 누메잖아. 되보다. 근데 되보 용사서는 거기서 되게 레사도 사겨 봐라. 이거들 그 초콜릿 케이크 사야 되게 레사 이거 봐. 사겨 봐라.
어떻게 사게 말이야.
아니 드네 빼나 드네 초콜릿 케이크 다 초반만 후지 사봐야 돼. 되게 레사 이거 봐.
이 레도 사게 말아.
저 후에
저 어디 개서 저 표 개가 되고 말이야.
So everything that you experience doesn't have to bring a result, bring another result. Like when you eat a chocolate cake, it's a result of your having created a good karma. Because you create a good karma, therefore you are able to experience or enjoy, the chocolate cake. So now when you have enjoyed the chocolate cake, your good action that you have created to enjoy the chocolate cake is gone now. It's exhausted. It's no more there. So you don't create any karma from that.
Okay.
See, if you eat the chocolate cake without making offering, that's not a karma. So that's the result, of having created good karma, that you're able to enjoy the chocolate cake. So if you eat it, you enjoy it, and then that's done. But when you eat, if you make offering and then eat, then you create a good karma.
Mhm.
See, then you create a good karma to maybe have more chocolate cake in the future.
If you don't make the offering?
So if you make offering, then you create a good karma to have more chocolate cake in the future. But if you don't make offering, you don't create negative karma.
But also you don't create the positive karma to offer.
Okay.
So if you don't make offering, you don't create a positive karma. But you don't create negative karma either. You have exhausted your karma, of enjoying the chocolate cake.
Enjoy chocolate
That's
cake.
it. You're done. You have no more left. So in the future, you might not have any more chance, to experience or enjoy the chocolate cake. So Mark, what Jennifer read make sense to you?
Yeah, but it's incomplete to me. I understand that, but it's like this question actually poses one of the most fundamental things. It's actually a very, very deep question. For example, it divorces the action and the intent. So if I want to cure cancer because I want to get rich, they'll say, well, that's not good. What if I want to spread a plague because I think the world's overpopulated and I want to kill 80% of the population? Because my intent, I think I'm right. Everybody who does something bad, you can say they have a bad intent, but that's a subjective thing. They think that the end justifies the means. I mean, when people go to war, they say, so it's a really hair-splitting question. People can give terse, superficial answers, but you're only licking the surface of it. It goes deeper and deeper. I know.
But when you think about, I mean, of course, you have to separate it, right? Separate it, like what is explained in Buddhism.
The crux of the problem is you can have all the good intents in the world. Yeah. You can be wrong.
Exactly, yeah. The Quran's not that pena that pena cancer jota jajora. That joy 내가 때는 pena 나 축차고 디자인의 cancer 쪽이 나 깨라 축차고 디자인의 저 디자반 딴 거는 딴 거를 cancer joy 레디 아부차가 말아서 아니 코라게 되는 pena 때 잠불이나 민 망고 슈차서 민 망다샤스 되는 데라 내가 this the made the 망고체는 강에 망고 슈고도 여러 번 올라간 것도 그래서 내 매버서 나는 미 자제 기준 중에 미 세샤게 근데 사바에나 딱 그 안에 난 최선의 독자적 어디는 지난 미드 그거 지금에도 어디 딱다리 선거라서 왜냐 말로 정도 찍어라다 말로 지나는 가족에도 다 미세야 다 잡리자도 독자를 쓰거든 이나다 근데 말로 도바는 그것도 배 야볼 수 찍어라서 다 이제 다 야보레 누저라 되게 뭐는 지 따다라 나라 이러면 지기 인지미지티 야보임에 잡아서 요 말은 나 도보임에 잡아 요 말했어.
주셔도 죽게 되셔도 마지막에 제가 타와지도 야도 버렸어.
So let's not talk about dharma.
나도 제가 타와지도 야도 버렸어.
Harming other is good or bad.
Other us.
In general, right?
Honestly,
Not talking about Buddhism. Not talking about Buddhism, not talking about dharma.
It depends.
Just harming other, is it good or bad?
Depends. If you're a police officer and somebody's got an assault rifle and will kill 20 people, you're gonna kill that other person. Is that good or bad?
This is good, this is good.
But he's answered his own question.
No, I didn't.
Because you said, oh, you know, like, oh, you can do things, good things, and still have
But you missed the ending. The ending was the intent. You're not always right.
But what you're saying is, if you have the wrong view, if you don't understand that about karma and, you know, coming from the 10 non-virtuous actions, as Geshe said, like, yeah, you say, oh, I'm going to help mankind by spreading this plague. That's wrong view. That's what it's saying. If you don't have the correct view,
He doesn't believe that.
if you have the wrong view, you're gonna have to look at yourself. Because even if your intention was to help everybody, but you spread a plague, guess what? You get the karma of killing them.
What do you think, Alex? What do you think?
So back to your initial question, how you vote, Mark, is harming other people positive or negative? Harming another person is negative regardless of the result or the greater result. Like in that instance where you kill a police officer, you're still having a negative consequence, someone's still dying. There's a greater positive consequence to the person not killing people. But without the wrong view, we look at the story of the Buddha killing the people on the boat, but he had the right view and he was able to see that what he was doing was benefiting the other people, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
if somebody was gonna kill your daughter, you wouldn't do anything?
I don't have a daughter.
But if you did. Whoever, you would just be
Okay,
I
anyway.
have the right view, so you go ahead and have a good time. Go ahead.
But it doesn't change the fact.
Didn't Lord Buddha kill somebody to save 600 people? And I think one of the lessons there is it still was a non-virtuous action. I believe he still went to hell. The lesson is he bounced back like a rubber ball. But the lesson is the compassion there is he was willing to accept hell to save 600 people. And I think if you're talking about right view, I mean, he killed somebody with the right view. I mean, I will go to hell to save other people. He never said, you know, I will go to hell to save other people, makes it a virtuous action. I don't, you know, I think to Jennifer's point, I mean, if the right view isn't there, you're not going to be right. You're not going to be a virtuous action.
Good. You guys, I want you guys to read this commentary. There are a lot, how many pages? Try to find not too far. Try to something. What is it?
So yeah, so just find the gist or the short short explanation about that.
Is also not okay. He's doing that. That's the problem. She's doing that. Not just okay. Our own experience, own actions. If we do that, that becomes this homecoming. I do that. Okay. For all of us, we always think, okay, he did that. That if he do that, if they do that, then we also go that way.
Yeah.
And if we do, I want to see we say, if we do that, something like that, okay? Try to guys find, read more short answer. Dela and
Geshe-la.
yeah, oh, you are coming. I thought you were sleeping.
No, not sleeping. It's very hard to ask a question. Very hard to get cut in from Zoom. No, Geshe-la, I have a question like about the right view versus ignorance. So let me use a very simple example, very close, easy personal example. Like my in-laws are very generous people. As they get older, they start giving away of a lot of their things. They donate their things to charity and things like that. So they have a very good heart, and I think they have a very good life because they're very ethical people. But they they don't reject Buddhism, but because they don't study, they don't get into believing cause and effect, right? It's very hard. Like I cannot go and tell them, say, okay, cause and effect, you mustn't go fishing. So inevitably, as a mundane life, they create negative karma, right? Like they like to fish, they like to eat certain type of interesting thing, for example, let's say. So is that considered wrong view, or is that considered ignorance? You know, like the fact that they do a lot of good deeds, but the strength of the good deeds is reduced because they also have create negative karma in Buddhism perspective, right? So is that
Yeah, it's both.
let's say it's both.
It's both.
Okay.
It's the wrong view, and it's also an ignorance.
But they did not outright, it's like, because I also don't try to debate with them. I then try to, so that they don't create the negative karma of rejecting, right? If nobody has talked to them and say, so they never say, oh, no, I don't believe cause and effect. There's no rejection, but we don't know. So it's more ignorance, isn't it?
Yeah, ignorance. Killing your maras. Killing your maras, and that's the Hakuwa maras, the legend because Kiwanga Chioba, the Meba Yoba, and the legend the name of the killing. On the Geshe maras, Hakuwa maras. I think Maribari Logaris.
Maribari.
Logashawa.
So,
according to Buddhism, yeah, of course, it's a wrong view as well. Because if you don't believe in karmic law of cause and effect, then it's a wrong view. And of course, not knowing in general, is a wrong, it's ignorance. So it can be both in this case, yeah.
Thank you.
So
thank you.
Cows, dogs.
What about animals? They have a wrong view all the time?
All the time.
They're creating a wrong view and a negative karma all the time?
You sure?
I think it's more ignorance, no? Animals? Because they...
I want as a result, yeah.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Who don't follow
ignorance different than wrong view, Geshe?
Yes.
How is ignorance different from wrong view? I thought they were the same.
Oh, no, this is different.
How is it different?
Ignorance is something annoying.
Not
knowing. Wrong with something you have some belief.
Okay.
But the for instance, if you're thinking about are you thinking about ignorance in the sense of that is overcome by the wisdom realizing emptiness? Is that what you mean? Or just ignorance in general?
But if you have ignorance, then wrong will come in.
Ignorance of cause and effect.
The mundane wrong view.
Yes.
Ignorance of how to fix the car. It's not a wrong view.
But you have the suffering of being stuck.
I was equating it with wrong view, the ignorance of the correct view, but I guess it's
definitely get a suffering, yes. But wrong, that's an ignorance, not a wrong view.
I was just relating to that ignorance. So ignorance as the first link of 12 links, that's the innate ignorance. But the middle circle of the 3 poisons, that's like that ignorance is like related to not believing, not understanding the karma and stuff.
Yes.
It's related to wrong view.
너 자샤다 디목 선데 가서 셔다 너 뭐 독숨 써더라. 너 자다 셔다 디목 써야 디목되라. 디목디 때문에 가서 단지기 말이 단지 말이 봐. 디목도 쓰거라서. 너 로버타베 다 로버 말이 봤어요.
말이 받았다. 말이 받아들였다. 대샤샤가 뜬구다 말이 받아들였다. 말이 받아들였다.
미시었단 말이에요.
싸웠어.
미시었단 말이에요.
록단 말이야. 록다이고 말. 이제
디목 써야 된다. 록다들 그래.
못 받은 말이 받아야 돼. 비시바디. 로타한테 직 쟤네 지 연발 많이 봤어. 딱 섬들이 딱 따로 봤어지.
나 모나스나 이번에 야나춘이라. 근데 야나춘이 담보도 많이 봤어라. 이때는 야나춘하게 말이 봐다는 영어 도중기 띠무되라 din이 가르쳐 와요.
된지 말이야. 된지가 다다다 따와서 또 독성도 좋아.
So in terms of those two, they are same. You know, in the three-poisonous delusion, the ignorance of the three-poisonous delusion and the ignorance of the traveling of dependent arising is the same.
영화도 변화 비긴데나 내 자신도 독성자지. 일단 고가 독성자인데 내 자신도 독성자래지. 그미 다다마도 이게 다들 말이 받아래.
So why do you call the three-poisonous delusion if they're same, right?
I mean, yeah, it was a delusion, but my understanding of the moral
Yeah.
the first link of the 12 links is the innate self-grasping ignorance. But the middle is was more like acquired view, represent. That was my understanding ignorance. And an example that I thought I remember was one of the examples of that ignorance in the middle was not understanding karma.
그래서 여기 가는 그 때문에 알아주니까 말이 봐디 말이 볼 랭게체.
That's the end.
안에 영어 도서나기 던 띠무디 또 말이 봐 갈사 아주 랭게다. 군다랬어.
대만. 군다 애들 전달에 주먹이 요만해.
So it doesn't have to be intellectual. Intellectual, it's not correct, if you say like that. So then you will have to say somebody who is not proponent of the tenet, don't have that three poisonous, the ignorance of the three poisonous delusion, because the intellectual has to be someone who, propound the tenets, and only someone who propounds the tenet have that. Like dogs and cows don't have that.
Yeah.
Because I was just relating to, I don't know who said, they
Deborah.
said Deborah. She thought ignorance and wrongview was the same. So I was commenting on that, yeah.
얘는 뒤나 지당을 해봐네. 내 자신도 뜨고 시골당 그런 얘기 이제 파파를 수되면서 파파는 칸을 넘어서 지금 지당했어요. 근데 좋은 모습이 때문에 오랬어요.
So the three poisonous delusion is exemplified by pig, and then the rooster and snake, right? So if you look at the drawing, there's like from the mouth of the pig, there comes the rooster and the snake. So that shows that from the ignorance, comes the hatred and attachment. So therefore, this the ignorance, and it's the same as the ignorance, that gives birth to all the things in the samsara.
Okay, you guys read. There's more question. There's one is very complicated, but it check. Dinalangit, Dewatanaya, Konta data the battle of Tashashas. The one gave us an attorney over Matanata, Shiramoto, the Malhodo. In Dewatanala.
So according to this commentary that Geshe is referring to, and there it says this wrong view is talking about here, it's the grasping at the true existence. So grasping at the true existence is the wrong view. So if you have that wrong view of grasping at the true existence, then even if you engage in the wide virtuous action of generosity and so forth, it will not bring a good result, and it will bring a horrific result. Means like that result will be the birth in the samsara. So even if you do those good practice, even if you create good karma, of generosity and so forth, that will only bring the result in samsara. So if you're in samsara, then that's a horrific result. That's what he's talking about. It's not saying that that's really bad and that's going to bring you all the suffering, but just being in samsara is a horrific result. So that's what it means. So then Geshe has a question about if it is the wrong view of grasping at the true existence, then what about the lower tenets? They have grasping at the true existence, right?
Right.
So for them, that's not a wrong view. So so if they do that, then is it like? Is it that they don't achieve liberation? they will not achieve liberation because it will be the result in samsara, right? Whatever they do with that. So that's another question.
Okay, this is a homework. You got to do this more. Okay, finish now. Now we stop short period. Short period. Okay. Otherwise, Mark's very in a hurry. He's far away. You have to go.
Traffic, right?
He's still traffic.
Page 39 for the Thanksgiving mandala offering. Sashi Perti Shishi Meto Chadra Sanjay Shiva Medewaki Boko Number Shiva Shiva Sho Jetsu Name Kutera Tenche Nakachin Meshoju Depada Losan Tente Drume Sasin Drume Musoka Yurchi Idam Guru Rabandala Kamiya Hayani. Page 43. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit, Midway Tensing Katso Chen Savior of the snowland teachings, enjoys migratory beings, who extensively clarifies the path that unifies emptiness and compassion. To the lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49. You who hold the subduer's moral way, who serves the bountiful bear of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjuna's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplished magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior, myself, and others, your disciples, please return swiftly. Page 57. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddhist state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. 75.